Let me hit the record button. All right, chat, we got a lot to talk about today. All right, as you see in the stream title, physical media making a comeback, but I want to talk more about GameStop Retro because I'm a bit upset with GameStop right now. Now, granted, I will still go to GameStop to buy games, pre-orders, whatever, what have you, and you know, maybe if there's a game on sale that's like really cheap that I find interest in, I'll go there and I'll buy it. And if not, I'll just go to my local game shop and, you know, spend money on local on the locals. But I'm making this reaction to GameStop because, like, you could say towards like the tail end of the the tail end of the PS3 era. So we're talking about maybe 2013, 2014. Something around that time frame. They have have completely dismissed and like disregarded the retro side of the gaming community. And I looked this up. And this is mainly in my demographic. So the 18 to 35 demographic, 40% of gamers that are between the ages of 18 and 35 play retro games. And so I'm upset with GameStop because for like almost 12 years they have neglected that community. And you know, you can like go and trade in games at the GameStop, and at best you'll get like $5 from it, which I find to be very insulting, considering that in the gaming market a lot of these games go for some pretty big coins. All right, like I know a copy of Chrono Trigger, for example, for the Super Nintendo, goes for anywhere between $100 to $500. And so I guess the retro community made their the gaming retro gaming community made their voices heard. And GameStop, I think this was either the fall of 2023 or the fall of 2024, they dropped GameStop Retro. Now, to me, you know, I'm happy with GameStop that they finally decided to listen to the retro community and open up a shop. But I'm upset with them because this should have always been a thing. Like, modern gaming today, it doesn't have the hold that, you know, in decades past, like the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 90s and the 80s, etc. They don't have that kind of hold on gamers that, you know, the past did. And so we're just gonna skim through GameStop Retro, and we're just gonna see what they have here that's available. So we're gonna start off with the hardware. So we're gonna start off with the consoles and hardware here. I'm not too sure about the mod retro chromatic. I'm not too sure about this. We're just gonna skip past this, but glad to see that PlayStation 3 is now considered retro. Like, to me, that is absolutely wild, considering it's only been what, 11 years. It's only been like 11 years since they stopped producing. Well, they didn't stop producing, but it was like the end of the lifespan of the PlayStation 3. They didn't stop making games until 2016. And for it to be $119 is, sheesh, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. Then we have the Nintendo Wii, this one mainly the console blue. Now, what I love about the Nintendo Wii is the backwards compatibility with the GameCube. So like, I'm cool with that. You know, I'm not gonna like go too crazy about it because like whatever. I still prefer a GameCube though to a Wii, but I digress. Now this right here, the Nintendo 3DS XL, $259 is crazy. It's also crazy too that the 3DS is now considered a retro console. Because if I'm not mistaken, the last 3DS game was like what, 2018, 2019? I'd even go far as to say 2020. But yeah, 3DS though, that's probably the only Nintendo hardware that I've never had. So that's very interesting though, that it's considered a retro and it's priced over $250. That's crazy. Oh, valid. If you go to my YouTube page, which is in the pinned comment, by the way, I have 2 videos reacting to the Switch 2, actually. So, ooh, the Xbox 360. Ooh, the Xbox 360 price at $80. Wow, that is absolutely amazing to me. But then again, the 360, that was probably the most successful that Xbox has been since, I believe, the first one. And granted, the OG Xbox, amazing console, amazing games. I'll give Xbox their flowers. Okay, the Wii U being considered retro. What? The Wii U is now considered retro? Excuse me? That is like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just an old man, even though I'm 27 years old. Maybe I'm just an old man, but it felt like literally yesterday that the Wii U just dropped. Sorry, getting haters. Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. It's no problem. It's no problem. You're good. Yeah, the fact that the Wii U is now considered retro, I want to go to my local DPS office and file for Social Security and disability and check myself into a nursing home, because holy shit. All right, we already talked about the 3DS. Now we're gonna go to the PlayStation 2 at $80. What the hell? $80 for a PlayStation 2? Hold up, shut up and take my money. Because what? Excuse me. What? $80 for a PlayStation 2? GameStop, you guys really need to reevaluate yourselves. I mean, that's cool, you know, the prices are reasonable, but you know, this is worth a lot more than what you're selling it for. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for thinking that the PS2 should cost a little bit more, considering the insurmountable library, the plethora of goated games that have come from the PlayStation 2 era, from 2000 to 12 years worth of phenomenal games on this console. Holy. No, 80 is fine. Valor, please. 150 is fine, but like $80 though, you're kind of underestimating. Now the PS Vita, no way in hell should this be $150. No, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way in hell. Because wasn't the PS Vita like, wasn't that a flop? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the PS Vita like do absolutely horrible? Now granted, without the PS Vita, we wouldn't have gotten Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 4 Golden is an absolutely gem of a game. It may not be up there with Persona 3 or even Persona 5, but it's still a great game nonetheless. But yeah, ain't no way the PS Vita should be worth this much considering how bad it was. But who knows? Maybe I'm prejudging. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't see things the way that other people do. But if anybody wants to sound off, right? If anybody wants to sound off here, please feel free. The floor is open. I am open to discussion. All right. Look, don't come for me. I am not an expert. I'm not an expert retro collector. Okay, I've got people in the chat for that. I'm just a black man with a microphone and an opinion. All right, so don't come for me. But its graphics were also above par to the Wii U. Ah, that makes sense. It was a power competitor at the time. But dang, the Vita, I think had the Vita held out just a little bit longer, could you imagine the PS Vita going up against the Switch? That would have, you talk about the console wars, to hell with Xbox, right? The Vita and the Switch, that would have been a crazy time. Granted, of course, the PS4 and PS5, they're gonna do great, but the Vita, if it had just, because I feel like with the Vita, it should have been in the oven just a little bit longer. Like you know how you get, and you know how you have that, like that macaroni and cheese. Okay, and look, this is me being big back, or should I say big back and black. Okay, there's that person that makes the macaroni and cheese, and it's good. But had it been left in the oven to bake just like a minute or two longer, it would have been perfect. I feel the same way with the PS Vita. If the PS Vita had just waited a year longer to get a better graphics, or, you know, maybe more powerful processing or something like that, or maybe even wait for a better library to come out on the Vita, ooh-wee, they still would have gotten washed by Nintendo, but they would have given them a run for their money, I think. But that's just me though. That's just my opinion though. Okay, listen, again, don't come for me. I'm just a black man with a microphone and an opinion. All right. If you guys beg to differ, sound off in the comments, sound off in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to have a fruitful discussion. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about something else too, physical media. In fact, I want to look something up here because the Steam Deck came in strong. Oh, facts. That is facts, Vala. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. You talk about, I'm paying rent to get a Steam Deck. I'm paying rent to get a Steam Deck. Like, ain't no way. Ain't no freaking way. All right. So, this is just going to be like an off the cuff type of rant with this one. All right. So, I had this discussion with my good buddy Jeff Lane, who I think everybody should go follow Jeff Lane 22. We talked about this in his stream the other day, and we talked about physical media, because a lot of gamers today are not happy with the direction that gaming is going, and it goes outside of games, right? Oh shit, is Frosty Tools not working? Oh well. There we go. Okay. Yeah, everybody go follow Jeff Lane, okay? When it comes to physical media, the gaming community is not pleased with how like far physical media has like dropped. And I say this in a way that just to give a little bit of perspective, right? When it comes to physical media, that builds value over time. That builds value over time, which is why, you know, a lot of my collector friends that are streamers, that's why they have these like huge collections and they don't want to get rid of it. Granted, that's money you're sitting on, but that's not what it's about. It's about that feeling of being an old gamer. And again, this is just according to statistics that I've researched before stream. In the 18 to 34 demographic, right? 45% of gamers have physical media. Like they have like physical copies of every game that they have. Granted, I've got some physical, like I want to get back into buying physical copies again, just because one, like it gives you that feeling of nostalgia to just pop a game in your console and then play it. But also two, physical media has value over time. And I'm going to use an example here. So my family, we had like, I don't know, I really wish like I had a chest or something in my apartment to show you guys, because we had a lot, and I mean a lot of Disney movies, like from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, so on and so forth. Like we had VHS tapes on VHS tapes. And I think when we moved, we forgot about it, right? And so I was just doing like I was just Googling, like I was on eBay, and I looked up the value of some of these VHSs. And when I tell you, that could have been enough to have my mom retire. We had so many Disney movies and some Nickelodeon movies too, where we could have had enough to retire my mom. Like, that's a lot of money we left behind. And my mom was so mad because like my dad was like really trying to rush everybody out, and she was like, we forgot about the movies, like forget them. Like we're talking about upwards to $300, upwards to $300 per movie. Like, could you imagine having, you know, The Little Mermaid, Toy Story, Bambi, Fox and the Hound? Like that's a lot of money that we left behind. And I don't know who else moved there, but whoever found it, I hope that they realized that that they got VHSs, and they're probably sitting on some money right now. And it's the same way with games, especially as generations continue to progress. Eventually like PlayStation 3 games are going to be worth a lot of money for they're going to be worth like a lot of money like 10 years from now. Okay, I got to go return to my college fund from store. Oh my gosh, Fala, please. Please. That's funny. Yeah. It was a lot. And you know, with retro games, it's the same thing. Like physical media will always have a place, which is why I don't get why the gaming industry and even streaming services too, they're migrating towards everything on a streaming service. Like everything's just digital now. And like things that go digital don't have value because technically you don't own it. You know what I'm saying? So like when you buy a game digitally, you technically don't own it. So like if your profile on PSN was to get hacked or something, all of the games that you have on it are going to get wiped. So you're basically wasting money. You're basically wasting money buying games digitally because technically, again, you don't own it. Whereas if it was physical, you own it. And if anything were to happen, you're not going to have to worry about not being able to get it back because you can always buy a physical copy and you can buy it on sale. So that's why I highly encourage any and all gamers, well, of course, if the situation presents itself, to buy physical copies. Because physical copies build value, especially if you take care of it. And like there's always going to be a place for physical media. And also too, like games and movies and TV shows, like I was watching Finding Miko on Instagram the other day, and he went on this like diatribe about Disney Plus getting rid of some show like HBO Max and I think Paramount Plus and Disney Plus getting rid of they got rid of some really good shows. And that's why Finding Miko was like, yeah, we got to bring back the physical media. I was once so broke that I couldn't even afford to pay my electric bill. Those were the darkest days of my life. Carlos, get out. Get out. Oh, hello. Hello. Did not, nope. You don't need to see that. You don't need to see that. You saw nothing. You saw absolutely nothing. You saw nothing. Chat, you saw nothing. Did I miss anything? You missed absolutely nothing. Finding Miko. Alt tab, or alt tab. Listen, it's already there. And by the way, we're gonna edit this out of YouTube, by the way. This is getting edited out of YouTube. Also, Crows, Sailor Nuggy said hi, by the way. This is totally getting edited out. Holy shit. You did not need to see Rhea Ripley. You did not need to see Rhea Ripley's cheeks. And damn, I'm black. Hold up. We got to fix that. But I digress. That's also getting edited out. Dang, y'all are making me do work today. Holy. There we go. That's better. Much better. All right. Thank you for the shout out to Vala. I appreciate it. By the way, guys, do you guys like Frosty Tools? Frosty Tools is in the house. I love that. I love that so much. All right. Where is it? Where's the video at? Because Finding Miko, he did a whole rant about why physical media should make a comeback. And this is like outside of games. This is like TV shows, movies, etc. I need to find it cause holy. So I tagged you in your channel. I did not actually. But Crows, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Why physical media matters and you should invest in it. Let's watch.
About physical media, why it matters and why you should start investing in it. Let's get into it. And what made me want to make this post is because I seen someone retweet about the fact that Teen Titans is no longer streaming on Max, and they said, let's make DVDs relevant again. And I have been saying for the longest time now that physical media needs to make a resurgence. Because right now, bro, streaming services suck. I even made a video about this like a week and a half ago. It sucks now. They keep raising the prices, they cancel shows too early, they remove everything. I've even found this tweet on Twitter of someone else giving their personal grievances when it comes to streaming services. That is why on my Instagram stories, I always promote what new DVDs I have in my collection. And I have more movies and complete series on the way. Here's some of what I have currently on DVD. And here's the rest.
Nasty work.
And y'all gotta start copping now because stores like Best Buy stopped selling DVDs. Redboxes got shut down a couple of months ago.
Wait, what?
And why not just have your favorite movies and shows at your fingertips? You ain't gotta pray a streaming service has it. You ain't gotta keep looking around for a website. So yeah, I agree with this tweet. Let's make DVDs relevant again. So let's have an important discussion.
So yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with this because yeah, raising the prices on like Netflix and even it's not even so much like with TV, with gaming. All right, let me turn this down a bit. Even with gaming services like PSN, they recently had a price hack, and we all know Game Pass eventually, because again, this is like the issue with Xbox and Microsoft and why I believe Xbox is going to be dead this time next year. They're putting everything on Game Pass, so pretty much you pretty much have new games day one, and you're essentially paying what, $9.99 for a new game, and that's not going to that's not going to be sustainable. And that's like the thing, streaming services, gaming subscriptions, like digital downloads, those, unless you're a PC gamer, then this doesn't apply to you. But if you're like a console gamer, then like physical media is gonna have to like be more prominent. I encourage everybody to go to Best Buy, to Walmart, your GameStop, even a local store, and just buy up all the physical media that you can get your hands on. All right, but also spend responsibly. All right, because I don't want to be responsible for you going broke. But anyways, like, yeah, physical media, without question, is gonna have to make a resurgence. And not just with movies, but especially definitely with games, it's gonna have to make a resurgence because it's only gonna get worse. And not to mention, as I said earlier, when you buy games digitally, you technically don't own them. Going broke with the okay, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, that's really it. That's pretty much my rant about physical media. Guys, if you enjoyed this session of the stream and you would like to catch more of these streams, and catch more of these like talking points, then feel free to message me about what you want to talk about, because trust and believe, I have a lot to discuss. I will always have something to talk about. All right. And I know next stream we're going to talk about an event that like only 1 out of like 10 of you care about, and that's the Royal Rumble. All right. The Royal Rumble is in 7 days, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But, yeah, if you guys have any, recommendations on what you want me to chat about, or if you want to have a fruitful discussion about whatever we talk about here on the stream, feel free to hit me up at any time. And also too, y'all feel free to join me on the Twitch chat, all right, twitch.tv/YeetMasterToro. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I'ma holla at y'all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy VIII, all right? See you, YouTube. Yeet.